I am very happy to tell you the facts as to what we have done during the last 2 years. I believe, and there is no doubt, that what we have done during the last 2 years has been noticed by everyone in the world. It has been a great achievement which has been acknowledged as an achievement all over the world. The unity of the country has been safe. The integrity of the country has been maintained. The former Prime Minister was doing his best for the future of the country, for the image of the country here and in the world. He was acknowledged as one of the world leaders. We were all proud of him. We have done something for the people. It has been praised everywhere. There are still many things to be done. There is no question of becoming complacent or self-satisfied. There is much more to be done, but we have laid the firm foundations for the economy to keep up. I am quite sure that it has already done so, and the unity of the country has been preserved and protected. Now, I would like to place before you a few facts which has enlightened people. I would appeal to you to judge for himself. You will have to see as to what kind of economy we have in this country. Our economy has been based on certain public sector undertakings for whom the government was funding the money from the taxes collected from the poor people of India. We wanted these industries to give us returns. That is why we had calculated plan after plan that these undertakings would earn profits for the government, which are to be invested back into industry. But this did not happen. We have spent crores during the last 40 years in the public sector. The public sector has done us a great service by creating the atmosphere necessary for industrialization. The basic industrial atmosphere has been created by the public sector, but it has undertaken too much, and too many things have been taken on, with the result that it suffered losses. Many of the undertakings could not show profits that were expected of them. Now, what do? We do not have the money to go on funding the public sector. We have to continue with the public sector via the private sector. അടുത്ത സ്പീഡ് വായിക്കുകയാണേ. I offer my congratulations to all of you on this Independence Day. The monsoon has been very good this year. I want to congratulate all our farmers, farm laborers, brothers and sisters, because after many years we have had such a good monsoon. On this day we have to think of the future also. On the one hand, we have to see how to take the country towards prosperity and how we have to carry our people forward. On the other hand, we have to ponder over the difficulties we have emerged out of and how we can improve things in future. When we look back over the last 4 years, one thing that we notice is the economic improvement in the country. We have to recall that the monsoon was very bad a few years ago. Then there was drought some years ago, and last year's drought was the worst in living memory. Yet the country steadily moved forward. Last year we fought the situation with all our strength. The government of India had paid early attention to it and initiated strong measures. Our effort was to see that as far as the drought was concerned, we should not bring our politics into it, and that our attention should be focused on the people who were suffering and needed relief. We devoted last year to this, and our entire attention was concentrated on those people. India came out of this trouble, and the pace of our development did not halt, although it slowed down a bit. We moved forward and with strength. The world was a witness to how India faced the situation, and it realized that India had become a strong country capable of facing major calamities. The world also realized that there is nothing that can suppress India or stop it from forging ahead. I want to congratulate all those who put their shoulders to the job of meeting the challenge, irrespective of the fact whether they were in politics, administration, or in any voluntary organization. Above all, I would like to congratulate our farmers and farm laborers who faced the problem with determination. As I said, even though the country was suffering under drought, its pace of development could not be halted. The country moved ahead even under those conditions. The performance of our infrastructure was very good. Likewise, the process of industrialization continued at a fast pace, and we did not allow it to falter. Speed. Ready? I am glad to be with you this morning. I think we have to give special attention to the handloom sector. For the last year and a half, I have been receiving a lot of representations from handloom workers and leaders in the handloom movement, and I also know something about it because having been for long in public life, it is impossible not to know something about handlooms, their importance and their present difficulties. I have a feeling that probably it has not received the attention it deserved for some time. There was time when our leaders took this as the most important part of our national movement, not necessarily handlooms but cloth as such. After food, cloth is the most important need and it had certain amount of patriotic element built into it because it was one of the things on which the country was being exploited by foreigners, by the British in particular, and so it had entered into our national spirit right from the days of our independence struggle. Therefore, it has a special meaning, a special significance in India. Another special aspect of this is that it is one of our most ancient crafts and India has been famous for many centuries, maybe for thousands of years. When many civilized countries of today were not very much better than uncultured people, it was India which flourished because of its made, because of its textiles, handicrafts, etc. Even today, India is calculated for its cottage industries, small industries, village industries, handloom cloth. These are the things which come to mind when people abroad think of India, not the big industries which are just a replica of what they have in the West. No imitator ever commands respect. It is the initiator who commands respect. There is something original about it. There is something ancient about it, something to be proud of. I know from my own experience that the price of something handmade in the Western markets may be 100 times more than the same thing made on a machine. Now, there is an element of justice in it. There is an element of good look in it. In a machine made, when every product is exactly like every other product. There is no stamp of the person in it. In the handmade things, no two things can be identical. Mr. Vice Chairman, the need for a comprehensive social security scheme is very well accepted in the country. The Government of India has some 10 years back appointed a working group headed by the Assistant Director of the Regional Office of the International Labour Organization in New Delhi. That working group went round the country and produced a comprehensive scheme for social security, and the recommendation was that the employees' state insurance and the employees' provident fund schemes should be merged into one social security scheme, which would also be able to give workers unemployment benefits and old age pensions. It is more than 10 years since the report was submitted, and though the government appears to have accepted the recommendation in principle, nothing has been done in that matter. That is probably due to the fact that a number of provident fund schemes are exempted from the operation of the statutory scheme. How will the government merge these exempted schemes into the social security scheme? So, if the government are serious about merging the employees' state insurance and the employees' provident fund scheme, it is time that they did away with exemptions. Here it appears that the government of India have granted exemptions even where under the law they had no power to do so. That is a wrong trend, and I must voice my protest against this. Then, Mr. Vice Chairman, the management of the Employees Provident Fund by the trustees needs a great deal of improvement. Now, under this scheme, some 30 lakh workers contribute. Some of them contribute 6% of their meager wages. Others contribute 8%. The trustees are so callous that they do not see to it that all the deductions from the workers' meager wages are deposited with the proper authorities in time. The result is that lakhs and lakhs of rupees deducted from the workers' wages as their contribution to the Provident Fund scheme are not deposited with the Provident Fund scheme authorities. The employees are allowed to convert that money workers saving into their working capital. It is the business of the administration, it is the business of the trustees to see that every pie deducted from the workers is deposited with the appropriate authorities within the time limit laid down under the rules. What we find is there are penal provisions which are not enforced. Okay, thank you.